This shit started out. He's saying recording will continue in new file. Oh, okay. Maybe it was cut out, but it just started me talking about how I healed my postpartum experience, and I didn't even talk about it. That was just my concept, and I'm already a minute in. I mean, an hour in. I'm sorry. All right, so let's say if I had to edit it out, I talked about the Saturn concept, and I'm not gonna share that because it's secret knowledge that I need to put in a book. So y'all can wait. What I want to talk about was how I healed, how I felt about having my children in an operating room, having a C-section. This was just one aspect of the many things that I went through. I think I talked about that before too. But it was one thing that I was able to use a metaphysical technique and heal an experience that I went through. And this is one of the cores, and this is why I really was me and my friend Caitlin, my business partner, I should say. We came up with the art of transmutation. We do lives on Instagram, and we're working on a million beautiful things for this. We're really building this because I love the essence of transmuting, because that's what helps me transmute that experience from negative to positive. And so what I did, so I can stop rambling about it and end up in another place I should not be, I astral traveled. That's it. I astral traveled. So I was learning how to really tap into my dreams in a way where I was going to sleep planning on what I was going to dream about. Just like saying, like, it's a plan. But I was literally going to bed like, God. I want to dream about this. I want to dream about this. I want to dream about this before I went to bed. And I got really good at going places, time traveling, and remembering my dreams. Like I fell out of it. Like I have to get back into it. I really don't know what it is, but sometimes it just be like that. Like I'm just like, okay, like I'll get back to it, you know. But I was remembering my dreams. And so I was like, you know what? Let me try to take this ability that I've, grown and time travel back to a time that I need to heal. Transmutation, right? Healing, inner wounds, inner child, everything. So I was able to go back to the day that they came when I was in the ER room, the operating room, sorry, in the operating room, the OR. So I was able to see the scene, see the whole everything out of my body and above myself, above the whole experience. Because when you think about it, when you think yourself back to those traumatic, moments, matter of fact, any moment in your life, right? You're usually the observer when you think back to it. So you're still in the space of looking at everything the way you saw it when it happened. But if you go back, you have to remove yourself from that space and put yourself in a new space. So I had to put myself above myself. And it makes you think about this movie that my beautiful Aquarius lover told me to watch years ago, called Into the Void. About this guy who dies and his soul is removed from his body. He's floating above and he's seeing everything. And that's kind of what you have to do, is go above yourself and see everything. And I mean, like, just at this point now, it has nothing to do with how you felt about it, because you're not in yourself. So you don't have that emotional connectivity. You don't have that human body. And this is the thing too with the emotions, is that it comes from biologies inside of us. So if I remove my spirit from my body, I'm not going to feel what I felt when I was in my body. So there is no space to even conceive that you have a feeling about it. You're literally just floating above and you're just observing. And so I was able to see. No, this is recalling my memory. So I remember seeing the older woman over here uh, laying out the tools. I remember seeing the anesthesiologist behind me as I'm laying on the bed, the table for surgery, for C-section. I remember the anesthesiologist behind me. I remember I'm just recalling the whole scene from top to bottom. I remember, sitting on the table. I remember the nurse here, a nurse here. I remember the two, when the twins come out, the babies come out, and they go into that area with the heat and their clothes and the cleaning, that area over there. I remember that being over there. I remember that being over the door over here. I remember the clock right there. So I can remember things from where I'm laying. If I can remember that, I'm taking that memory and I'm taking it with my spirit and my soul, and I'm looking above and I'm replacing everything where it's supposed to be. So I see the older lady, I see the anesthesiologist, I see the nurse, doctor, clock, everything above myself without my emotions. Now the emotions are removed, you're able to charge up new emotions. And so now you have to look at everything with a logical mind. Was it really that bad? If it was that bad, what are some light moments in there that you can take from it? What can you really look beyond now that you've experienced it, and you can go back and say, I see, I understand, I'm okay with? Because there's different levels to trauma and pain. I'm not trying to say God forbid, I don't wish anything on anyone, but a rape victim, how you can ask yourself, was it really that bad? Yes, it was that bad. Yes, it was that bad. Yes, it was that bad. I didn't want that to happen to me. But I'm removing myself from a situation where, me personally, I can't speak for nobody else. Me personally, I was able to say, okay, I can accept what's happening here. I can go back and I can accept it. The thing is, too, maybe this is not a good question to ask. I'm not sure. Is to ask, was it really that bad? Of course it was that bad. But there's something about accepting a situation that has nothing to do with your emotional state and your emotions. There's something about it that I'm feeling right now where you can't really... Something about accepting transmutes the whole thing. Because I think about, say, for a rape victim. Was it really that bad? Yes, it was that bad. It took something from me. But if I can look at it and accept it for what it was, and what I got out of it, and what I gained from it. What I gained from it, my twins were healthy. I got to go home in 45 days. Literally, I didn't have to, it was on my mind. It was a possibility because they were twins to have to do NICU time. That's, intensive care for neonatal. It was a possibility. And Kitty was right there. She could have been. But because Kane was, I really do feel because Kane was well. And she was really well. They were healthy, but she was just a little bit smaller. So I was a little nervous. She could, she's a little small. But because they were together, he was big. And it was they're fine. Then it was fine. That really, they supported each other in that way. But so I didn't have to do any NICU time. I had a regular stay. Everything was beautiful. And, tapping into all the spaces that really have lightened up your path, past and present and future. Because you're in the future now. I'm in the future now from that moment. Everything up until this point. Everything beyond that point before and everything beyond that point after. You have to be able to move forward in time in order to be able to go back. So you have to let time pass you. But I was able to go back in my dream and just being able to go back to that place and just keep accepting and forgiving over and over and over. It transmutes it. It does change the chemical composition of it. It does transmute it into a very different space and understanding. And that's what I did to help heal my experience and how I thought about it, because I was in the video that I was talking about why I started recording in the first place. I was very upset about it. And I was just having, like, it was just hard. It was just hard. And it was just tired. And I was like, I need a vacation. I still need a fucking vacation. But it is what it is. But you get to those places. So that's what I did to heal that experience. Life is better now. I'm good. Life is good now, honestly, I can say. And it's always been good. It's just, you go through your levels. But it's really great. They're older now. It's still a lot of work. It's even more work. It's just different work. They're older now. And I'm older. I'm different. My hair is different. My hair was orange. I hated my hair at the time. So I cut it all off at that time. What's this? Is that something in my hair? Is that my hair? Now look, it's a mess now. But I didn't like my hair at the time. I was dating a guy who was so emotionally unsupportive. I wasn't dating him. I was getting to know him. I was dating. That's dating, right? He was a Cancer. Ugh. Isn't that weird that a Cancer is so emotionally unsupportive? And it was like to the point, like, I have people in my life who are not, I'm not looking to them for emotional support. And some of them are not really good at, offering that. And I accept that. But they allow you space to have it. You're emotional, they allow you space. And he did not allow me space. Oh my God. It was like literally like, no, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to accept. I don't want to hear. And it was like, you're not a good human being. Like, forget about dating. Like, you're not a good human being. And I can recall those moments where he needed emotional support, and I offered it because that's just how I am. I mean, you're supposed to be that way. Sometimes emotional support is just listening. I'm like, you can't even listen to me. He couldn't even listen. That's not a good human being. Maybe it's a good human being. He just has to learn. But I wasn't gonna do that. I left. I remember that day too. Wait. I remember that day too. We were fighting, and I came over to talk about it. And I'm like, yeah, we could just talk about it. Like, I'm the same person. It's like, can we just talk about it? It's not that big of a deal. It might be hard, but we can talk about it. And he let a stupid fight go on for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh my God, like, what's wrong with you? Like, why is this going on for so long? And you're going back and forth with me in like this weird way. And I'm trying to let you go. And it's like, you keep coming back. And it's like, what's wrong with you? And so I say, you know what? Let's talk face to face because we're texting. And I don't like that. So, went to see him. Still had an attitude. I said, okay, let's work it out. So it was okay. So I said, look, I need to talk about how I feel about this, because I feel ways, and it's not only about you overall. And at the same time, I was going through, what I was going through. And that's that 5 months, that video was the same time. That's why I'm talking about it. Because I'm like, I'm dealing with something internally that I just want to talk about. Like, I just want to talk about it so I can get it out of my body and just talk about it. I'm very good at handling my emotions. I usually don't need to talk to them about people because I can work through them really well. But I was in the process of learning how to be vulnerable. And that's the thing, too, that came with becoming a mother. And, like, one of my developmental, my changes is learning how to be a better partner in all relationships, and learning how to connect with people deeper, and learning to be intimate and vulnerable. Like, I had those issues that I didn't realize the depth of those issues I had before I had my twins. Even with their father, I was not vulnerable and intimate with him in that way. So, when I'm presented with opportunities, no matter who it's with, no matter how long I've known you, I'm going to do it. And so I said, okay, I'm giving myself the opportunity to express myself to someone, because I never do. Giving myself the space. Talking to you. You say you like me, you want to be with me, so let's do the right things. Let's communicate. And I'm like, it's not only about you, it's about me too. I want to talk about how I feel. Can I just talk about it? It's not that we can just talk about it. And he was like, no, I don't want to hear it. I said, are you serious? I was like, you're not serious right now. Like, you're literally telling me no. I was like, no. And I was so mad. I wanted to hit him so bad. I'm like, you're serious? You just the other day was complaining about your fucking father, your daddy issues. You were talking about your daddy issues. And I listened to you. I remember that day like it was yesterday, and it probably was yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, that's how recent it was. And I'm not trying to say like you have to do this for me because I did it for you, but it's like, damn, like I'm showing up for people in a way that I want them to show up for me. And you have no skill. You're not able to listen. And if you're not able to listen, you're not able to give advice. If you're not able to give advice, you're not able to have wisdom. And if you don't have wisdom, you have nothing. You have no knowledge. You have no knowledge, you have no education. You see how this is all like, yeah. If you're able to be emotionally supportive to somebody, do that. If you're able to be there for them, do that. Keep doing it. Because it's all interconnected, because it shows how intelligent you are. And I'm like, you're not intelligent, my man. So he ordered me food because I was hungry, and I said I wanted a burger and fries. I really did that day. And he ordered it, and I said, I can eat it. I said, let's eat, let the food come and we can talk. And the food was coming, and he told me he wasn't able to be emotionally supportive to me. And I said, yo, I'm out of here. I went in the bathroom and I cried, and I got my bag and I dipped the fuck out of here. On God. I went in the bathroom and I cried. I said, bitch, get the fuck out of here. I got my bag and I left. And he's outside smoking on the stoop. And he's like, the food is coming. And I said, okay, I'm leaving. And I walked my ass out the block, and I got on the train and I came home. And I never spoke to him ever again. That is the Saturn mother. If I could. If you were wondering what that looks like in its true divine essence, postpartum, that's what it looked like. Leaving rooms and spaces where you are not loved like God loves his children, where you are not supported, where you are not taken care of, where you are not. I left food. I left good food, good dick, good weed, good time, good love in other places, in other times, in other energies, because I needed emotional support, and he wasn't even able to give me the minimum, and that's listening. That's not even a minimum. He wasn't even giving me one thing, the most simplest thing that anybody should be able to do, and is listen. He wasn't even able to give me that. So I chucked my deuces up and I left. You need to do that for yourself. Leave everybody, anybody who harms you. Because guess what? Me staying there just because why? All those other things were good, but I know deep down I needed that from him. That would have done nobody good. That would have been a horrible relationship. I would have taken abuse, because I literally felt emotionally abused that day. I felt emotionally abused. And it's so funny because I'm thinking about the people in my life now in different ways that they offer me emotional support. And it's like there's things that I accept and take because it feels good to me. And I know what they look like because it feels good to me. And I like what I receive from the people in my life. And if I don't like it, you have to go. Sorry, not sorry, not sorry. Hashtag not sorry. So that's one of those things too. Whatever. This was about my video before. What else did I want to talk? So at that time I was dating that guy over. Dating a new guy. A very nice guy. I think we're dating. I don't know. It's weird. And but I like it, and it's healthy, and I like that a lot. That it's healthy. The weird to me is nothing compared to what I get, honestly. So, and I'm back doing my work. That's one thing too. I don't think I was doing a lot of work at the time, but they were so young, you know. But now I'm back to doing a lot of work, and I'm happy about that. So I'm back to doing my things, keep me happy. Always find things that make you happy. And, you know, continuous healing. But that's one way I got out of a traumatic experience. And my postpartum, one of my postpartum, that was the major thing. Everything else was like, their father was nothing I needed to get over. Because you see how I left, like, I'm like, that's how I am. Like, I'm very much like, if you about to tear my life up, I can see it. I can see it. If you about to make my life a living hell, I can. And it's crazy because I don't physically feel it. This is how deeply connected I am to my core. And this is where I want you to be too. I don't feel it on my body. My soul says it. There's nothing about, I don't get a bad taste in my mouth. I don't get like, there's no forewarning. Something happens and my soul is like, no. And so I would just be like, Kanye shrug, I gotta go. And there's a lot of things that I've done that for, not just dating, not just men, jobs, projects, friends, experiences with people. Like, I'm always able to save myself. I take pride in that. So as much as I commit to myself, I'm working on committing to other people and other things. And I'll talk about that in another video. But that's a part of the experience that I did, my healing and stuff. I wanted to share that. Astral travel. I wanted to share that with you. Astral traveling. So other ways that you can open up your dream state. Drinking dream-inducing tea like mugworts and witch hazels. Sages is good. Chamomile is wonderful. Rose petals, mugwort. I roll mugwort up in my weed. So that's how I can be continuously in dream place, because even though I don't remember them tightly, I know that I'm dreaming. I think maybe I transcended something, because like I can't even look up what they mean anymore, because it's literally like I'm traveling to certain places and times within my like past lives, parallel lives, and future lives, that is like, this is not just a symbolism, it's like a story, That's where I got to. But you have to start out with actually remembering them and recalling them, so you're able to have a foundation, a center point of your dreams, a connection to them in your spirit, So I roll mugwort with my weed. It's a great thing to smoke. Changing your sheets frequently. I change my sheets once a week when I do my laundry. And should I be changing them more? I'm not going to do that. Once a week is too frequent enough for me anyway. And showering before bed is a good thing to do. I haven't been doing that, which is probably my issue too. I like to shower in the morning, so I wait until the morning, but I need to start showering before bed. And no drinking before. There's been times where I've drank and remember my dreams, and I just got lucky. Because when you drink, you black out. You black out, and when you're up, you black out when you sleep. So you're like knocked the fuck out. Like you're not gonna remember a damn thing. You're gonna be asleep. So don't drink before you go to sleep. Smoking, it depends, because sometimes I smoke before I go to sleep and I have great dreams. Sometimes I smoke and I don't remember. If you get really high and where you knock out, like you just can't be knocked the fuck out. Like you have to be able to like fall asleep and wake up. You can't be like dead snoring, dead sleep. Sometimes it's just like you're literally like in deep, deep, deep sleep. It's hard to remember your dreams if you're in a deep sleep, you know? Because you need the REM. REM? Ariana Grande made a song called the REM sleep or REM? But it's REM sleep. So it's like that. I don't know. See, this is information I need to have embedded in my brain. Because I know it, but I don't know it. Because I know that you need it to dream, but I don't know like what time, like how long. And dreams are only like what, like 10 minutes, they say? Is that the REM sleep? 10 to 90 minutes, I think. That you stay in that REM state where you're like, your eyes can be like doing the whole like dance behind your eyeballs, behind your, you know, you're still moving, you're still like, brain wires are still firing, so you're having dreams. So yeah, those are ways to activate your dreams, help you remember them. I have a dream candle called Charles the Dreamer. I talked about him before. Charles the Dreamer, he was a lover. Charles. I can't remember his last name, so I can't find him anywhere. I can't remember his last name. A-B something B. I don't know. He was from Texas. He was a Pisces. So you know he was, his room, like his home, he like had his own place. His kitchen was just a kitchen, whatever. But his room was like blue. And like not a waterfall. Pisces is like a river. You're just like, hey, we're flowing down the river stream. Cancers are like lakes and ponds. It's like murky and deep and shallow. And Scorpios are like oceans, like deep, like scary. Different bodies of water, but all water. And he felt like that. So I made a dream with his I made a candle with his essence, and it was a dream candle, and I love it. Charles the Dreamer. I love that candle. It's one of my originals, because I have a few like original candles that are like staples. They are like the core of everything that I do. And he's like, it's Charles the Dreamer. So I have a candle. So getting a candle that's, you know, intention candle. It's a dream intention candle. It'll help you dream. And, you know, getting those things and stuff that you may need for that. Counting sheep. Listening to meditation music and sound bowls. And using your ability to dream and astral travel to heal and transmute your painful experiences. It's been an hour and a half I've been talking. I said today, I want to talk. I just feel like talking today. My Gemini rising is like... And Sagittarians cannot stop talking. They talk too fucking much and they're so loud. So that's my moon. I wish that I did my hair, my makeup. I like it to look beautiful. But I look beautiful now, but I like to look extra beautiful. Says my Venus and Leo. I like to be extra glamorous. This to me is glamorous. Alright, let me work. Let me watch a movie. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hearing me. Thanks for watching this far. However far it gets, I don't even know. I'm talking to the future you. The future me. Happy New Year. And talk soon.